driven by their jobs and not their dreams, lived a boy named Arov. He was thin, quiet, and almost invisible. While other boys ran, jumped, and played sports, Arov stayed back, watching from the sidelines. His arms were thin like sticks, his shoulders sloped forward, and his confidence was even weaker than his body. School was not kind to him. Every day he heard the same words. Eat something. Wind will blow you away. You look like a skeleton. At first, Arov laughed with them. Then he learned to smile. Eventually, he learned to stay silent. Silence became his shield. At home, things were not easier. His father was a mechanic who believed strength came only from hard labor, not from dreams. His mother worried about his health, but had no idea how to help. Gym memberships were expensive. Protein powders were luxuries. Motivation was a word no one used in their house. But inside Arov, something burned quietly. It wasn't anger. It wasn't jealousy. It was a question. What if I wasn't weak? That question followed him everywhere. The first spark. One evening, while returning from school, Arov stopped outside a small, old gym. The paint was peeling, the windows were dusty, and the signboard hung crooked. Inside, he saw men lifting heavy iron. Sweat dripped, muscles flexed, faces showed pain but also pride. Arov stood frozen. For the first time, he saw control over the body. Not violence, not dominance, but discipline. An old man noticed him staring. His name was Coach Roman, a retired competitive bodybuilder, whose prime years were long gone, but whose eyes still carried fire. You want to come in? The coach asked. Arov hesitated. I'm too weak. Coach Roman smiled. Everyone who enters is. That sentence changed Arov's life. Day 1, the humbling beginning. The first day in the gym broke Arov. The bar felt heavy. The dumbbells mocked him. His muscles burned within minutes. Others lifted more. Others laughed. Others ignored him. He went home sore, embarrassed, and exhausted. The next morning, his body screamed in pain. He could barely lift his arms. He almost quit. But then he remembered the question. What if I wasn't weak? So he went back. Coach Roman taught him slowly. No ego, no shortcuts. Form first, weight later. Arov learned that bodybuilding wasn't about lifting heavy, it was about showing up daily, even when no one noticed. Especially then, pain becomes a teacher. Weeks turned into months. Arov trained when it was hot. He trained when it rained. He trained when motivation disappeared. He learned to eat properly, not fancy food, just consistent meals. Rice, eggs, lentils, vegetables, whatever he could afford. He learned sleep was as important as training. He failed lifts. He missed reps. He felt stuck. But Coach Roman reminded him, muscles grow when you rest. Character grows when you suffer. Slowly, changes appeared. His posture improved. His arms filled out slightly. His confidence stood a little taller. People didn't notice yet, but Arov did. The world tests him. Success never comes without tests. School bullies noticed he wasn't shrinking anymore. They mocked harder. Gym won't fix your life. You'll always be the same. Even at home, his father said, focus on studies. This gym thing is useless. For the first time, Arov almost shouted back, but Coach Roman warned him, real strength is silent. So Arov trained harder, not out of anger, but out of purpose. He learned to channel pain into discipline, loneliness into focus, doubt into repetition. Every rep became a statement. I am still here. The plateau. After 2 years, Arov hit a wall. No gains, no progress, same weight, same mirror. This was the most dangerous phase. Not failure but stagnation. Many quit here. Arov felt empty. The gym no longer excited him. The mirror stopped rewarding him. One night, he told Coach Roman he wanted to quit. The old coach said calmly, this is where champions are separated from quitters. He explained, the body adapts, the mind gets bored. This is not the end, this is the gate. They changed Arov's routine. They refined his diet. They focused on recovery and mindset. More importantly, Arov learned patience. Not excitement, not motivation. Patience. Transformation beyond muscles. At 21, Arov no longer looked like the boy he once was. Broad shoulders, defined back, strong legs. But the biggest change wasn't physical. He spoke with confidence. He walked with calm. He no longer sought approval. People who once mocked him now asked for advice. His father, silently proud, stopped criticizing. His mother smiled more. A local competition was announced. Coach Roman looked at Arov and said, you're ready. Arov was terrified. not of losing, but of standing visible. The stage, under bright lights, wearing a competition number, Arov stood among giants. Some were bigger, some were leaner, some had better genetics, but none had his journey. When he posed, his body shook not from fear, but from emotion. Every rep, every insult, every lonely night, it was all there. He didn't win first place, he didn't even place in top 3. But when he walked off stage, Coach Roman hugged him and said, "You won something bigger." Arov understood. He had defeated the version of himself that once believed he was weak. Giving back. Years later, Arov opened his own small gym. Nothing fancy, old equipment, honest atmosphere. Skinny kids stood outside, staring. Arov smiled just like Coach Roman once did. "You want to come in?" he asked. When they said, "I'm too weak," he replied, "Everyone who enters is." The cycle continued. The iron within. Arov learned that bodybuilding was never about muscles. It was about waking up when you don't feel like it, showing up when no one claps, staying consistent when progress is invisible. Iron builds the body, pain builds the mind, discipline builds the man, and real strength. It was always inside. You don't need perfect genetics. You don't need money. You don't need validation. You need time, patience, and refusal to quit. Because the strongest muscle is not the biceps, it is the will.